Hello everyone and welcome to ElectrAspirant, an assistance to electrical students for objective type exam preparation, organized by the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Christ College of Engineering, Irinjalakuda. In this video, we will be discussing the questions from 61 to 80 of the Assistant Engineer Kerala PSCA 2014 examination. Let's start with question number 61. A modern power semiconductor device IGBT combines the characteristics of, the answer is BJT and MOSFET. An IGBT is a combination of BJT and MOSFET. The full form of IGBT is insulated gate bipolar transistor. Moving on to question 62. In a thyristor, the latching current is dash than the holding current. In the thyristor, the latching current is always greater than the holding current. Question number 63 has been cancelled in the answer key. Moving on to the next question. Question 64. Which of the following is a fastest ADC? The answer is flash type. Flash type is the fastest because the conversion is performed simultaneously through a set of comparators, whereas in the remaining options, the conversion is carried out one bit at a time. Moving on to question 65. Which of the following is the most popular DAC? Or DAC means digital analog converter. The correct answer is R to R ladder type. The reason is that in the R to R ladder type, it is the most simplest DAC available and it requires only two resistors arranged in a ladder form. The remaining require more circuits and is a bit more complicated. Therefore, R to R ladder type is the most popular DAC. Moving on to question 66. It was a cancelled question, so we can move on to the next question 67. A dash circuit is used to improve the rise time and fall time of pulses. The answer is Schmitt trigger. The answer is Schmitt trigger. If you are looking at the other options, a multivibrator is used to produce a high output or a low output. You will get two outputs, either high or low. The devices which are produced using a multivibrator are oscillators, timers and flip-flops. You have three types of multivibrators: astable, monostable and bistable. You can see option C, monostable, is just a type of multivibrator, and an oscillator, that is option B. An oscillator is simply a circuit which produces a continuous and repeated alternating waveform. That is all what an oscillator does. But the Schmitt trigger, according to the wave shape, you can just see a circuit over here. This is an example of a Schmitt trigger. It has a comparator with hysteresis applying positive feedback to the non-inverting terminal of the differential amplifier. You can see that over here. You can see the circuit over here. And you can see the output also over here. This was the waveform or the triggering pulses or whatever pulse it was. And you can see that it is not perfect. The rise time and the fall time are high. But after giving the circuit waveform to the Schmitt trigger, we could obtain better waveforms. So that is why we are using a Schmitt trigger. Next, you have question 68. How many inputs and outputs does a full adder have? A full adder consists of 3 inputs and 2 outputs. There will be 3 inputs and 2 outputs. The 2 outputs are sum and carry. If you are looking at a half adder will have 2 inputs and 2 outputs only. Moving on to the next question, question number 69. For an SCR, dV by dt protection is achieved through the use of. If you are looking at the options are RL in series with SCR, RL across SCR, L in series with SCR, and none of the above. The answer for this question is none of the above, because dV by dt protection for an SCR is achieved by the circuit given over here. The dV by dt protection is achieved by using an RC across an SCR. So that is the answer. Moving on to question number 70. A single phase voltage controller feeds an induction motor and a heater. Which of the following statements are true? We can just look at the options. In both the loads, fundamental and harmonics are useful. In induction motor, only fundamental and heater only harmonics are useful. In induction motor, only fundamental, and in heater, fundamental as well as harmonics are useful. Option D, in induction motor, only harmonics, and in heater, only fundamental are useful. These are the options. The correct answer is option C. In an induction motor, we require only the fundamental frequency. We do not require the harmonics because harmonics produces pulsating torque within the machine. Whereas a heater requires all the types of frequencies because the main thing we need to achieve is heating of the particular element. And harmonics mainly result in the heating. So the fundamental as well as the harmonics help in the heating operation of the heater. We can move on to question 71. A motor armature supplied through phase control SCR receives a smoother voltage shape at. The answer is high motor speeds. Next question 72. A single phase full bridge voltage source inverter has inductor as the load for a constant source voltage. The current through the inverter is. We are asking the shape of the current through the inverter. The current answer is triangular wave. The reason is that the load current will be same as the current through the inductor. In an inductor, the current will be increasing and decreasing in a particular time period. And this is similar to a triangular waveform. Next question 73. A single phase full bridge inverter can operate in load commutation mode in case load consists of. Load commutation is a mode of forced commutation and it is obtained by using an RLC circuit. The RLC circuit should be underdamped. Only then you can make sure that the current through the thyristor goes below the holding current. In the other cases, the current will not get reduced and turn off of the thyristor will not take place. Question number 74. Hard firing of a thyristor. Hard firing of a thyristor is basically we are applying a gate current which is several times higher than the minimum gate current required. And the effects of hard firing are it will reduce the on time. So option A is the correct answer. It will reduce the on time and it also enhances the di by dt capability of the thyristor. Moving on to question 75. The maximum load that is connected in a power subcircuit. In a power subcircuit, the maximum wattage that you can apply is 3000 watt or 2 points. Whichever is lower, only that can be applied to a power subcircuit. 3000 watt or 2 points or 2 outlets. Moving on to question 76. The insulation resistance of HV circuit breaker is. If you are going through the options, you have two options have kilo ohm and two options have mega ohm as the unit. Insulation resistance is always measured in mega ohm. So the options can be either C or D. Now you have to measure that for a high voltage circuit breaker. And high voltage circuit breaker, since the voltage rating is high, the insulation resistance should also be high. So the insulation resistance will be in the range of 2000 mega ohms. So the correct answer over here is 2000 mega ohms. Moving on to question 77. The range of a DC ammeter can be increased by using. The correct answer is shunt resistor. To be more precise, the answer is a low resistance in parallel to the ammeter. You have to use a low value of resistance to extend the range of an DC ammeter. Next question. Which of the following wires will have the least diameter? The options are given in SWG and we have to note one thing. In SWG, the higher the value of the SWG, the smaller will be the radius of the diameter of the particular wire. So the highest SWG will be having the least diameter. If you are looking at the options over here, the highest SWG is for 40 SWG. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Moving on to the last two questions. The last two questions have been cancelled. In the last question, they are asking about a minimum bending radius. The question was cancelled, but I have just included a tabular form over here for the minimum bending radius of certain cables. It is just a general thumb rule. More detailed versions I have not given over here. You can go through the same. Thank you for watching this video. Please do watch the upcoming videos also. Thank you.